Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be a January reading wrap up. So I read 7 books in January and 4 were off my physical TBR, 1 was a digital book and the others were audiobooks. So I'm going to start off. I've got the information on this side, books on this side. So I'm going to start off with Becoming by Michelle Obama. So this was the first book I read in January. Rated it 5 stars. So it's 432 pages long. It's good, a really good book. It definitely was. It was more based in family, less on the politics, which I quite liked. Yeah, it gave so it gave a lot of good insight to how she lived in Chicago in her childhood, as well as how she managed to be a mother and also the First Lady of America. So I definitely would recommend this. Anyone who's interested in like the American side of politics, but not heavy, like the heavy side of politics, I would definitely recommend this to anyone who would want to read that kind of thing. It definitely showed like the hardship of the politics on younger children, especially her children, and how like they had to go around with security guards and things like that because of the strict rules that they had to follow. But yeah, definitely would recommend this. Okay, this was the first book I read this year. And definite 5 stars. And probably would read again. So next book I read was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. So this is a romance with 2 characters, Olive Smith and Adam Carlson. They are 2 scientists, so this is in her STEM or STEMinist series. And it's like the Olive has a fake relationship with him, but they do eventually, spoiler alert, get together. Because of her friend wants to date her ex-boyfriend. It's a really good romance. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I gave it 5 stars. Adam is definitely kind of like my type of book boyfriend, so to speak. I really liked his character. He can be a bit brutal with other people, but he's very protective of Olive, which I really liked. I'd really hated Tom. Tom's character was really annoying. Even in the first instance, before you find out anything he actually does. I really, really hated him. And also, I kind of found a best friend really annoying as well. It is what it is. But the romance was really good, and the sex scene that is in this is written amazingly. It's not like I wouldn't consider it a very smutty sex scene. In my eyes, it's like not smut, but it's very obvious it's a sex scene, but it's written very well. So yeah, that's a good one. So yeah. And the third book is Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama. So this goes into him becoming a politician and being the son of a black African father and white American mother. And like his migration from Kansas to Hawaii, and then his childhood home in Indonesia, and then Kenya and things like that. I didn't give this a rating. I DNF'd this at 50%. Yeah. For me, this just was not it. The writing style in this, yeah, just was not for me. It's just what it talks about, and the sense of it talks about race and religion, just isn't for me. So yeah, I didn't actually finish this. I got halfway through it, but yeah, content and the style of writing just isn't for me. So I never gave that one a rating. Then I read, so I don't physically have this one with me, so I'm just gonna go off what I wrote on Goodreads. I read Secret Magic, so this is part of the Evie Everyday Witch series by Elena Page. So I gave this 4 stars. It's a middle grade, a really fast-paced middle grade. It had good message about being yourself. Evie, amazing character. Got a really good personality, and a cat Nip was quite funny as well. He dressed up as a knight and really hilarious. And it's got some good witchy fantasy. I know people who don't necessarily read middle grades, I think will actually like it as well. It's just like a small story. I'm going to pick up the rest of the series. I read this digitally through like online like iBooks, but I am going to actually physically pick up the books this time, because I've worked out digital reading is just not for me. But I did actually quite like that one. Then I read Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which I did this through audiobook on Audible. So Hellbent is about Alex Stern. It's in a sequel. It's the sequel to Ninth House, so it's about a plan to bring back Darlington out of hell. Basically loads of like incidents ensues in New Haven and things go wrong. I'm not giving too much away because it's a sequel. But I think in these kind of videos you're gonna have to be aware there will be spoilers. So I'm gonna start off with the fact that Darlington has a glowing penis and it's mentioned 3 times. Why? Don't know, it's a bit weird. He's a demon. But yeah, that's a very, very strange thing. I would like to know how that works. So if anyone actually knows any information on how that works, or if any of you have actually asked Leigh Bardugo about that, I would love to know. Yeah, the glowing penis thing is very weird. But I do like Darlington. It's just I find that a bit strange. But yeah, the Hell heist was really good. The description of hell, it seems like a beautiful place, but it's also quite horrifying as well. Do like it. The ritual looked easy, but also there's a lot to unpack with it, which is, I love the way she writes it. It's so intricate but yet simple, if that makes any sense. Same with Alex, like her character is so simple yet so many issues and trauma and shit to unpack. Like, yeah. The cliffhanger though at the end. I want more. I know there's another sequel, I know there's a second one, a third one coming out even. I want to know. I hope it comes out soon. I really do. Because I want more. On to the next one. This was a physical read. Finally got around to reading 1984 by George Orwell. This has taken me years to read. And it's not been on my shelf for years. It's been on my shelf for about half a year. But in the sense of, I've been wanting to read this for years, but never got around to either buying it or even reading it. So, I rated this. Oh, I didn't tell you the rating of Hellbent. I rated that five stars. I rated this 4 stars. So it's like, it's very haunting in the sense of like everything is controlled by a state. You can't have your own thoughts, you can't have your own feelings in a sense. It's very, very weird. And like the past is being rewritten. But it gives and hives a food for thought in how the modern world works, and that the government controls things like the media, and how like we're only exposed to certain pieces of media that they want us to see, or things that they want us to hear. COVID is a good example of that. I mean, I'm not going to go too far into it. When because this will be a reread at some point, I am going to tab this, so I might at some point do an in-depth kind of video through to talk about that kind of thing. But yeah, it's like they're wanting the past rewritten, in a sense. It's like the COVID and the WhatsApp messages, that kind of thing. Yeah, very, very haunting in the fact that it is like that. It has a lot of impact culturally still now, and I think that's what a lot of people have started to realise with this. Yeah, so did read that finally, but probably will do an in-depth video once I've tabbed that. And the final book I read in January was Journey to the Centre of the Earth. This was an audiobook, and I gave it 3 stars. Wasn't keen on this one. I did like the world building. So Journey to the Centre of the Earth, if you're not familiar with, is by Jules Verne's. It is it's about an adventurous geology professor who finds a manuscript that has a route to the Earth's core, and they go and him and his nephew go and investigate. And they go into like this extinct volcano and they go down. If you've seen the film, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But the book, slow paced. Found it too much of information dumping on all the science stuff, and it was just like constant. You'd have a bit of the adventure, and then just information in like a massive kind of like section, and it was just like, it didn't hold focus or hold my attention a lot. Characters just didn't seem like compelling enough, and couldn't really like hold any emotion or any feeling towards any of them. Like Lindenbrook kept like pushing Axel to do stuff and constantly putting him down for his lack of courage and how clumsy he was, but there was no like, you couldn't feel sorry for them because it was just like, there's no emotion behind any of them. So yeah, it wasn't a great book. It's one of the classics. It's one of the first classics I've disliked. But yeah. So it's quite surprising that I disliked a classic, but just wasn't the one for me. For the film. The film's a lot better. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this wrap up, and I've got some more videos planned for February. Bye.